People, Deluded, I'm back again. Soho Square settings, it is what it is, people. We have to make vids wherever we can, whatever time we get. And you lot know me, admittedly I prefer to be in my room. It's definitely cold, my hands are freezing, people. I think the cold might take the black off my hands in a sec. And my hands are dying holding this vid, but DG Nation videos have to get made. We have to remain consistent, we have to keep it going. Something of nothing, irrelevant topics, but nonetheless it makes for good content. So let's speak about such. First and foremost, we've got Mesut Ozil. He has said we have to believe in ourselves, believe in us as a team, and do what the coach wants. We're in a good way. You see it as well on the pitch. Everyone enjoys, everyone is happy. As a player, you have to be happy to give everything on the field. And I mean, it's lovely to hear a number of these players echoing these certain comments that Ozil is saying, because you've seen Bellerin, you've seen Lacazette, you've seen Mustafi, you've seen everybody. I'm a bit cautious though, because I think it's completely different, but I'm sure when Emre first took over, you was hearing all of these things about Emre. So I wanted to keep going. Now, when the club does, we are in a difficult moment, but when we do hit more roadblocks, and Arteta's been here for a long period, I want to see the same energy sort of thing. So it is what it is. On Arteta, and he's said a few comments, people, or I've mashed up a few comments he said in relation to Martinelli, for me the biggest attribute is his hunger, his attitude and his willingness. After that, obviously he's a player that's a threat on goal, he can finish, he can run behind, and he is a fighter, which, you know, I mean, we know that about Martinelli, and so does Arteta. But moving forward, he said, in relation to our time in Dubai, which I think the boys are actually flying back from Dubai now, so safe journey, you know, hopefully everybody and their family gets home and we're not speaking about stuff, touch wood. Obviously, happy birthday Lucas Torre, I think he's 24 today, before I forget. I just saw some mad shadow on the camera, I think it got possessed there. But anyways, in relation to the time in Dubai, obviously he said some other stuff, but he said, I wanted to use it to work on our principles, our style of play, as well how we live together. There are things I want to implement together as a group, not just for the players, but for the staff as well. It's been very useful. And obviously being away or on a tour of such, it's more intimate. You obviously are going out together, you're having dinners with families and whatnot. You're seeing, obviously we're there to work hard, we're there to use the warm weather training and, you know, swim and jump up and down and get fitter and learn the tactics and all of these things. Do not underestimate the importance. We 100% need that. But in terms of togetherness for the staff, making them, you know, we're all on the same page clearly, but the more togetherness, the more camaraderie we have, the more of a brotherly sort of family thing it becomes, the harder it can be, because we've got to be a family. We've got to love each other, we've got to ride for each other, but we have to be hard on each other. If we fuck up, but we keep going. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's only going to come if we chase excellence and we all have the same common goal. I believe we have, but every little sort of thing we can do in terms of bonding and fighting for the follow man and discovering how everybody ticks as a human being, I'm all for it, people. I'm all for it with the coaching staff, with the players, etc, etc. It means a lot. Moving forward from that though, people, he's spoken in relation to Guardiola, and he said he kind of misses Guardiola. He said, absolutely, I miss working with Pep. I'm a big friend of his, and I admire him so much. We had a lot of joy and a lot of success working together. I always talk with him. We share a lot of things in our life, and we discuss everything. He was a big part of my development as a person. A lot of this experience I've gone through have been next to him. It was a privilege to work with him. Of course, I took a lot of things on board. I have a lot of things from his time in management, and yeah, man, obviously he's obviously above everything. He's been a friend, but he's been a mentor. He's been someone he can lean on. He's been a trusted lieutenant. They've shared a lot, people, more than we'd probably comprehend. So they are going to miss each other. But Arteta needed to spread his wings and do his own thing. The opportunity came. He waited a year for the Arsenal job because, you know, for whatever reason he didn't get it in 2018. So it felt like the time's coming, and if it wasn't at Arsenal, it might have been somewhere else. If, you know, obviously they probably wanted him to take over from Pep if the time came this season or beyond, but who knows. In relation to David Luiz, he has spoken on Pablo Mari. Now, we'll never know if Mari's going to be a squad player or first team player until he plays, because admittedly, people don't know too much about him. You're inclined to believe he's going to be a squad done. But for those who watch Brazil on a regular basis, when you look at the fact that he's Spanish, but he's been in Brazil, I assume he can speak some level of Portuguese. He's left-footed, meaning David Luiz, who they could share a common language with each other. If David Luiz doesn't speak Spanish, moves over to the right. Both described as being able to play in a high line, as being both ball-playing centre-halves. Obviously, he's a slightly younger, he's about 26, 27, but you describe them as experienced centre-halves. Maybe in terms of not necessarily top-level European experience for Pablo Mari. Mari, but in terms of age, he's experienced. And David Luiz being a Brazilian national, I assume he's got one eye open to Brazilian football, just keeping up to date with what happens over there. And he has had some comments. He has said, on Mari, he said he's a great player. He did amazing in Brazil under Jorge Jesus, a coach I know very well. He's one of the top coaches in the world. It was a pleasure for me seeing Pablo do very well in Brazil. I hope he can help us. He obviously continued to say, I speak with Jorge every day. He's really my friend. He told me to welcome him in the best way because Pablo is ready to play. Now the football there is improving a lot with its technical approach, like Tite did with Corinthians. That's why he did such an amazing job. George and everybody, Brazilian football is improving a lot. The quality was always there, but now a technical part of it is. I think it's good when you have a squad with a lot of quality and players. We have a game every week. You have to be happy with this. Apologies, people. The comments I just heard about Brazil is relevant, but not irrelevant. I've mashed up the quotes. But it's lovely to hear he's spoken about George. He's spoken to someone he knows, as players would do. You'd be surprised how many players I've heard Google their teammates and whatnot. You even heard Danny Rose say that. So obviously, he must have known, out of everybody in that side, beyond the scouts and maybe Arteta, Luiz must have been the most informed about him. Obviously, he must have spoken to friends and family back home in Brazil, as well as former coaches or friends within the footballing scheme to find out what he's about. Obviously, he's seen from himself, because I don't know how much or how little he's integrated into the team yet. He's probably they're probably yet to see his full personality, but he's getting to see firsthand what the man's like, and it's important that them two centre-halves have a good relation. Right now, it's potential. You'd say our first choice, for whether you agree with it or not, is David Luiz and Socrates. Socrates might be the one to give way if Pablo Mari comes into the side on a proper basis, people. And it's lovely to see that Luiz relishes competition for places, and he's more or less said, I haven't got the quotes to hand, he doesn't mind moving over to the right hand side of the left of the centre half pairing for Pablo Mari, people. So we'll have to see what happens in that regards. Apologies for the wind, which is making it impossible for you lot to hear, no doubt. Apologies, hopefully you've persisted with us. And finally, Lacazette and Aubameyang, listen, I'm not going to go over it, people. It's going to be a serious summer to see what the club do. But surely we have to look at Celtic's Odegaard, I can't say his name, Edouard, I can't say his name, but you lot know the striker. He's 22 years of age. He can play as a false nine, he can play as a target man. He's actually got a decent free kick on him. His link-up play is good. The way he works the channels is good. I think he's in double figures for Celtic. He's formerly played for PSG and Toulouse. And what, did Celtic not play 7 million for him a summer or two ago? You know what, they should be making 40, 50 million on him. And you look at when they signed Dembele from PSG, and now he's gone back to Lyon, they must have made a little healthy profit on him. And this guy could be the same. Apparently they want to tie him down to a new deal, as they would, because he's been making the difference. He's a very good player. Obviously people will say Scottish League and things like that, and I get it, and that's a big... I don't agree with it, because I think Van Dijk came from there, Robertson came from there. I think players, Koscielny came from the first or second division in France. If you're good, innit? Obviously there's problems, and we've got to use our common sense, where if you're good, you're good. It don't matter where you're from, innit? Sort of thing. Surely he's someone that we look at, man, because his goal scoring is elite, people. I think this is old information I have, because I meant to do this vid a while ago. But at a point, I think he averaged a goal, one goal every 54 minutes, which is surely better than Lacazette's. 58 minutes, sorry, people. His statistics for Celtic overall, in 118 appearances, he's got 28 assists and 56 goals, which for me, that's a decent record, people. In the Scottish Premier League this season, he's found the back of the net 19 times in 22 games. Red hot form, getting 9 assists. In all competitions, he's played 37 times, bagging 23 goals and getting 16 assists. Now, this shows, again, I need to probably go and watch all his assists, but this shows he's got good link-up play with his teammates. He's got an appreciation, not just for scoring, but there's more to him. Again, he's 22, so he's got time on his side. The problem is everybody's looking at him. He's been linked with Liverpool to join them to some capacity. Allegedly, Chelsea have looked at him. United as well. Arsenal have been linked. And all the teams I've just said, for whatever reasons, there could be question marks over their striking position, or they need to bring in a striker. Do you get it? So it could just be Was in terms of getting a new deal, but because he have been linked with Arsenal, but surely he's someone we should look at, people. So yeah, man, he's decent, and he can, like I said, he can play up front. He can play a variety of different ways of playing up front. He's got good link-up players. Still think he's not the finished article. He's only 22, but yeah, man, he's a decent player, and he's very good technically. He looks like he's got a good attitude, but he's got a good technical level for a ball at his feet. It's almost irrelevant, but yeah, man. Completely off topic, but apparently AST has written to Portsmouth to ask for a full explanation as to why only 2,000 odd tickets were allocated to Arsenal fans when FA rules state there should be 2,875, which works out as 15% of the capacity, really. So long story short, we've been shortchanged. I don't know if that's to bring more Portsmouth fans or whatever, but it's a shame, man, because teams do play a lot of games around these FA Cup allocations and cup allocations and all of these things, people. I believe we play them in a couple of weeks. We play on the Monday in March. I don't know the exact date, but I know we play on a Monday. And the games are coming thick and fast for us, people. I know Arteta's spoken about top 4 off topic, people. I think that's a myth, but if the players want it, they got to go out and be consistent. I think the City game's been postponed, but we've got the 2 Olympiacos games. We've got Everton and Newcastle at home. If we have to play City, we have to play City. We've got West Ham. Obviously, Portsmouth in the FA Cup on a Monday. There could be tired legs. It's the magic of the FA Cup. You can never disrespect that competition. So I'll be interested to see what happens, people. But on that note, I've got nothing more to add. So I'm not going to bore any of you lot or keep you lot here any longer. It's cold. My hands are dead. I feel my hands are getting quite numb. So I'm going to get out of here. One of you lot also told me to show the pigeons because they're always showing love. So let's get the pigeons. You man are still pagans though. I'm still on you. When this camera comes off, I'm going to chase you man down. But you lot wanted your thing. Go on, talk. Alright, cool. You bust out. Cool. You lot could have got galley in that because they could have saw that you lot were celebs. But it is what it is. On that note though, people, on a serious one, thank you for always rocking with me, supporting my thing. And yeah, man, just being nice to me, really and truly, man. Especially with the internet. You'd be surprised, like, internet's not a nice place, but I love DG Nation because we've got 19,000 real people around the world that are just connecting over one common goal of football, and we're ever rising. And yeah, man, one thing I like about my little subscriber base is that you lot disagree with me all the time, you disagree with each other. Bar the obvious idiots, you don't really see people being disrespectful, carrying on. And I think football is a subjective game. Ultimately, it's a funny old game of opinions. Yo. Say it, people, I gotta get up. It's a funny old game of opinions. That's all mad, people. And it means a lot. I'm gonna get out of here before a bird decides to poo on my head, because I ain't got time for none of that. You see, I thought that was poo. It's all mad, people. Let me get out of here. People, TG, man. One day when the office is there and that, we'll laugh about this thing. But right now, it's a mad thing. Look at this, people. Look at all of this mad thing. And they're all going over there. This is a mad thing. But let me get out of here.